Good evening, Bethany family. Welcome to another recap. It is Monday at 5:30, and you know what time it is. It is time to recap everything that's happening around Bethany. But before we do that recap, I want to just welcome you guys all into the chat. So please make sure that you like, you comment, and you share. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We have so many connection church members that are out there that we love connecting with on all of our platforms. So let us know where you're tuning in from. You may be from New Jersey, you may be from across the world, you may be on
Yeah.
the West Coast. We want to hear from you. Let us know how you're feeling today. As Maya always loves to say, you guys are our additional hosts. So we
Yep.
don't just come up here and talk at you guys or talk. We want to engage with you. We want to hear from you. What did you take away from the encounter experience yesterday from 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock service? That double portion, that
Oh my
double
gosh. There's a
everything.
lot.
It was a lot. So we want to hear from you. So please, as you guys are liking, you're commenting, you're sharing, let us know where you're tuning in from and let us know, how you're feeling today. We have some secret watchers sometimes. And, Maya and I were just talking about introverts and extroverts. I want you guys, all the introverts, I want you guys to be extroverts today and let us know where you're tuning in from and how you're feeling because this is what this time is all about. But how are you feeling today, Maya?
I'm feeling good. It's a beautiful, this fall weather is here. I'm loving it.
Since it dropped down, Maya, I have to,
Oh,
I've been in such a good mood. I don't care what's been coming my
yeah.
way. I've just been so happy.
It's beautiful. And then, of course, coming off of the word on yesterday, as we continued in Let's Dance, I've been dancing since. So I'm feeling pretty good. How about you, Kev?
I'm doing great as always. We thank God that we're able to come up here on this platform just to have this time with you guys. Having this time with each other because this is what church is all about. It's not just about the physical building, but it's also about having that relationship and being able to talk about the word and talk about what God is trying to present through Bishop through this series. So I'm just happy to be here and just seeing you guys. But speaking of Bishop and speaking of happy, being happy to be here, we are just so thankful and happy for our leadership, and we want to
Yeah.
show them how much we appreciate them. So, Sister Maya,
hmm
how can we show them how much we appreciate them, and why are we doing that this upcoming month?
So, this upcoming Sunday, October 2nd, is the start of Pastor Appreciation Month. So, we got to go off with the bang, right? So, we're going to be celebrating this month starting on October 2nd. We will be showing our love and appreciation for Bishop and Pastor Nick. We're sowing a love offering of $100 each, just again as a show of how much we appreciate them and everything, their silliness. I posted that picture of Pastor Nick today on
Oh my gosh,
Instagram.
I love
I
that.
know. I'm
So
waiting for Pastor Shady to come out and say something about it. But all that to say, we're just so thankful to have them as our spiritual leaders.
yes,
And I say do so much for us. So again, this is just our opportunity to say thank you.
yeah.
So you can sow that gift online via our website. Go to bethany.com/giving. Mail in, text to give by texting BBC Pam. Is that right?
Pastor
Yes.
Appreciation Month. Yep.
BBC Pam to 28950. Again, just to say thank you and that we love you.
Awesome. Yeah. So we want to show them how much we love them, how much we appreciate them because they have such an impact on everyone's life. I know for myself, just by the little things, the teachings,
hmm
just the little sayings that I replay in my head all the time. I've shared before on Pastor Appreciation Month how, Bishop will say certain things and they will stay with me. And then
hmm
I would, sow that word into my students or friends and something and how it affected them in a positive way. So it's just showing how great of a teacher he is, as well as Pastor Nick. So we want to
Yeah.
do that. So we want to ask you the question today: how has Bishop and Pastor Nick had an impact on your life? Share that with us right now, so we can share here on the recap or on Engage Live on Sunday or somewhere. But let us know, how has Bishop and Pastor Nick had an impact on your life? And speaking of impacts, I see you guys saying that you guys are sharing and that you guys are here. So, Sister Mike, can we shout some people out there tuning in right now?
Yes. So I want to say hello to Sister Lillian Ransom Wright,
Yes.
Keisha, Sharia, Mylita, Kife, um, we're just so happy to see you guys this evening.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Lillian, I am agreeing with you. It felt so good to be in person again this week. So let us know how you enjoyed service this week, whether you tuned in virtually or you joined us in service. Let us know. So speaking of celebrations, we are going to celebrate our leadership, our pastors, but we're also going to celebrate our church home, Bethany Baptist Church. It is the church's anniversary.
Yes, 55 years. Can you believe it?
Years. Let me tell you, they say that's still a young church, but to me, that's to have consistency with
Yeah.
pastors and just the consistency of the teaching and how good Bethany has been. That's some time. So we want to celebrate the church as well, the church's anniversary. So we want you guys to stay tuned to social media because you know that we're going to do something. So we want you guys to be a part of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a celebration. I don't mean to cut you off, but this is a celebration of us. We are the church. We
Yes.
are what make up the church. So, guys, we've been hanging in there for 55 years, and I can't wait to see where we're going to grow, what we're going to do from here, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So get ready because we're going to have something, and we want you guys to be a part of that as well. Like Sister Maya said, this is all about our celebration, us as the church. So help us celebrate, right? So yesterday's service. Yesterday's service.
Yeah.
8:00 and 11:00. Now, Bishop, this man of God with this rhythm series.
Mm-hmm.
He is touching on some things. He is saying some things. He is making me think. He is making me, have to go back and watch it a couple times. He's making me just get excited to come up on here on a recap. But Bishop continued the rhythm series with this sermon, the continuation of the Let's Dance sermon. And he came out of the book of Genesis, chapter 5, verse 21. Bishop continued with Enoch's story and journey as an illustration for this sermon this week. Bishop stated that sometimes we keep the rhythm of our history and we have a rhythm established already by our life experiences. He stated that when we are led by our emotion and it intoxicates our thinking, but when we are led by our thinking, it sobers our emotions. In order to establish God's rhythm, you cannot live through your emotions. At times, we establish our own rhythm where we are walking in our own wisdom and understanding based on our own experience. So Maya, what are your thoughts on when he talked about our emotions intoxicating our thinking? And also for everyone else, I want to hear your thoughts, your perspectives. What out of yesterday's service, the continuation of the Let's Dance sermon, what took you by storm? What stood out to you, right? But
definitely let us know in the comments. I think it's one of those things because our emotions can get us into so much.
Oh, let's talk about
trouble.
it. We can stay up here for 30 minutes and talk about how our emotions get us in trouble.
Our emotions can get us into so much trouble. So being able to take a step back and to think through things is something that I don't think comes easily. Because our emotions, when we're ready to go, we're ready to go.
Absolutely.
But there's so much, I think, growth that can come just by thinking, and so much that can be avoided just by thinking. And like Bishop said, everything has a rhythm, and our past experience often are what induces the emotions that we have. And sometimes it just requires that we think on them instead of having that innate reaction to them. That makes sense.
Now, I know for me that whenever I'm hit with a situation or I'm going through something where I become emotional, whether it's whatever emotion it may be, I tend to always not shut myself out, but I give myself some time to just be away from people and just away from social media or just away from any forms of communication and just really sit in my thoughts and really sit in my emotions and possibly listen to music and stuff to get me back there. So like you said, I don't make no rash decision or I don't come off aggressive or say the wrong thing because I'm so emotional. Like, is there something that you do, Mai, that in those moments when you may be emotional. Maybe some people like they have a stress ball, sometimes they count down. Like everyone's technique is different, but if you don't mind
Mhm.
sharing, like what is something that you do when you are in that emotional state when something happens?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to do the same thing. You know,
Mm.
I have so many different Spotify playlists based on the different emotions I'm feeling for that day.
Right.
So yeah, I do the same thing. I really allow myself to just kind of calm down,
Yeah,
put my music on, let the words speak all the things that I might want to say or the
absolutely.
things that I'm feeling and can't say. Just
Absolutely.
rest in that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's and there's nothing wrong with having that strategy as well. Just as long as you're not reserved, for a long time, but having those moments where you give yourself grace.
Mhm.
Because like as we're learning, our emotions can really steer us in the wrong direction and really have its own rhythm away from God,
Yeah.
right?
No,
And
I think that, the rhythm of outside of what's happening around us, our emotions can latch on to whatever those rhythms are
yeah,
super easy. And
yes.
so, that's where it comes we have to be mindful
Hmm.
of, what rhythms are we syncing ourselves to.
Absolutely. So Bishop talked about how at times we establish our own rhythms where we are walking in our own wisdom and understanding based on our own experience. So when Bishop said this, what immediately came to my mind is talking about how we're a forever student.
Mhm.
And that's something that I always try to replay in my mind. No matter how many things we've been through, there's always something to learn from and to grow from.
Yeah.
So I love that he touched on this, that how some of us we create our own rhythm because we feel like we're wise enough to do that. And
Yeah.
sometimes we have to step back and just say, hey, like I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything. And we have to tend to just sit back sometimes,
We
right?
have to humble ourselves.
Yes, maybe that's the word I'm
Mhm.
looking for. We have to humble ourselves because we are forever students. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's something that a lot of us get caught up in because we feel like, oh, I've been in church for X amount of years, or I'm this
I
certain
know
age.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know everything. It does not matter who you are, how old you are, or where you are in life. I think God puts us in situations to humble us, to remind us, like, hey, yes, you went through this, but this is a new situation, right?
Mhm.
So I'm
Mhm.
trying to teach you something. You can't go based off of your old wisdom. It's good to have that wisdom, but don't create your own rhythm that's opposite from Him, right?
Right, absolutely. And I think that's something that I mean, I get it. None of us want to seem like we don't know, what
Mhm.
we're talking about or stupid for lack of better words. But there's just like I said, there's so much growth in just being able to say, and I think it shows a lot of strength to say, okay, you know
Absolutely.
what? I don't know this.
Yeah,
And being open to learning. We just
absolutely.
gotta get out of our own pride.
Get out of our own pride. So Bishop asked the question, are you aware that your relationship life has a rhythm? Are y'all aware?
Mm.
At times we bring the failures of our other relationships into present relationships and then wonder why it's being sabotaged. If we make the same choices and develop the same emotions, we cannot be surprised that we created a rhythm of failures into new things. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the entire staircase. So I know a lot of people was shaking back and forth when Bishop talked and asked this question: are we aware of our relationship life and how that has its own rhythm? Now,
Mhm.
I'm not only just singling this out to, intimate relationships. This can also be friendships as well.
Yep.
Um and I feel like as Christians, we tend to do that sometimes where, okay, like, for the biggest thing for our generation, it's always about your zodiac sign, right?
Yeah.
So people are like, what zodiac sign are you? Oh, you have this trait, that trait, this trait. Okay. You may have experienced someone that has the same zodiac sign as me, and you may find some inkling of resemblance, but that does not mean that we're all like that, right? I
Right.
know our generation, we tend to do that a lot. We tend
Yeah.
to rely on the zodiac signs, like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I can't be a friend with you. I can't date you because You're this
Right.
zodiac sign. How many blessings have we missed out on? How many friendships, how many relationships have we missed out on because we tend to look into things too deeply or carry our past failures, right?
No, for sure. I think we as a society we like to place labels on ourselves,
Hmm.
whether it be our professions, who we're connected to, the zodiac signs, which is I don't even get me started on that. But like we like to place these labels on ourselves,
Hmm.
getting ourselves out of rhythm of the only label that probably really no probably about it that only matters, being a child of God, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. All those things are distractions. They really
Right.
are. They're just
And that,
distractions.
and I feel like that's our biggest thing is when, oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to share the thing and it's playing. But distractions is such a big thing, especially when it comes to our relationships and stuff like that, because we're so distracted by finding the negative in certain things or finding
Mhm.
things we're missing. We may be missing out on a blessing or missing out on an opportunity. And again, it doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. It could be a friendship or any type of relationship, but we tend to miss out on those things. So Bishop said, we must adopt the promises of God, which will introduce us to the rhythm God has in store for us. Our focus must shift from mundane and unimportant things. We have to prioritize what is important, what should get your energy, and what shouldn't. Prioritize what people should get your time and what kind of people you shouldn't sow your time into. We must become a discerner so you are not using your strength in a way that God would not have you use it. So I want to talk about this importance of prioritizing our time and our energy. I'm telling you, when I turned the big age of 25 years ago, I was like, it's like it was just like a switch. I don't know what it is when you turn 25, like it's like a switch in your 20s, right? Where you just like stop, you don't stop dealing with people, you just prioritize different, especially your time and your energy and your money. And I love that Bishop talked about this because it's so important. Sometimes we prioritize our time and put our time in the wrong thing, in the wrong people, in the wrong situation, in the wrong place at one time where we miss out on those things. Goes back to like the whole relationship aspect of it. But talking about the importance and prioritizing our time and energy, especially when it comes to getting in God's rhythm, is so important. And that's that's what we need
Yeah,
to
it is. It is. And it's something that we can do because how many times have you heard, "Oh, I'm reclaiming my time," or "Ain't nobody got time for that."
oh
It's
my
things
God.
it's things that we can do, but I think the question is, are we doing that for the things that matter, such as our relationship with God and
Oh,
being in rhythm with Him? You know
mm,
what I'm saying? So those things aren't a part of pop culture because we can't do it. It's because we can. It comes down to, are we doing it for the things that are really necessary?
she just came in and just dropped the mic and just
I'm
gonna
just
just,
saying.
she's just she talked about the labels and then she's talking about our, but no, it is so true. It's so true. Like, where are we focusing our time? And that's so important, especially as young adults. And I feel like that's tends to sometimes be in our generation our problem where we don't prioritize the right things. We prioritize in things that we long for. Um, and we have the problem of getting what I want and what I need mixed up,
Yeah.
right? So I
Hmm.
want to have this, but do I actually need it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how I feel like we need to look at a relationship with Christ is we should want it, but it's something that we definitely need. So don't, because sometimes we say, oh, I want a good paying job, or I want some material, some materials, or some clothing or something like that. But do I
Hmm.
actually need it because where I am in my life? We have to say to
Hmm.
ourselves, I need this relationship with Christ. I need God present in my life. I need to be in rhythm with God, right?
Absolutely. And I think sometimes the problem is too, there's definitely that need of God, but we don't want it. because of whatever reason, situation, because it's not cool,
It's
all
not
those sort of things.
trending.
Exactly. So that's something too.
The wants and the needs. So, I want to shout out Sister Sylvia and Sister Ty. I see y'all.
Hey.
So Bishop talked about having this, being a discerner, becoming a discerner, so you are not using your strength, in ways that God does not want you to use it. So, do you feel like some may be afraid of having that discernment because of what is going to come out of it or what's going to be exposed to them?
You asked me that question?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
Comment.
Do I think that some people say the question one more time?
Do you feel like some may be afraid of having that discernment, like, being able to discern like if this is good for me or not, because they're afraid of the outcome? So, perfect example, maybe it'd be like a friendship or a relationship that they try to hold on to years about, and you're just holding on to years, but you're not holding on to the significance of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't.
I get you. I think so. I think sometimes we're good at setting aside at like our instincts and our gut feelings of things, because like you said, I don't want to let go of that friendship yet or relationship yet, because I know that this isn't, deep down I know that this isn't good for me, but
Right.
whoever the list is for you as to why you should keep it. I don't know. That's a hard one, Kev.
No, but I think that is true, because I feel like a part of us know that certain things are not well or great for us, or our understanding, or our peace. Sometimes I think we tend to put other people's peace before ours. Sometimes it's not healthy to do that. And having a discernment is like saying, like, I know this, but I don't want to, like, I know it, but I don't want to believe it because it's gonna hurt me. I'm afraid of that hurt. But go ahead, Maya.
I think sometimes it's comfortable being in that rhythm of.
That's so true. That's so true.
What I know, right? And so to take yourself out of it is something that can be scary. I mean, we've talked about this type of things before. Taking ourselves out of the rhythm of what we know, even though we know it's not good for us, can be a scary thing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That might be one reason why, to answer your question, people are afraid of.
It goes back to what we said earlier, that about people creating their Ty. Ty. But it goes back to what Bishop was talking about earlier, where he says that, we create our own rhythm by our own wisdom. So, like you said, Maya, like, I feel like we're comfortable in that rhythm, that we don't want to step out of it, because it's our comfortability. It's like, I'm good. Like, I don't want to try too much. I want to try too little.
Meanwhile, you're hurting. You're unhappy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with, coming to that realization. I think sometimes we like I said earlier, we tend to put someone else's peace before ours. And then we look at it like, if we put ourselves first, then it's like, oh, I'm a bad person.
Being selfish.
Yeah, I'm being selfish and stuff like that. But I feel like we got to get out that mindset of like, I'm not being selfish. I'm being intentional about my relationship with Christ. I'm being intentional about my healing, my deliverance, like, I'm being intentional about
Jesus on the boat with the disciples in the storm.
Despite
everything that was happening, he said he was going to put himself first and take a nap. So I don't think being able to care for yourself is being selfish. It's you can't take care of others without taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Because you won't be here.
So. And I always say that you can't love the next person unless you love yourself.
Absolutely. Say it again.
You gotta love yourself before you love the next person. Now, love yourself. Love yourself. I don't know why I just put that voice on, but I thought it was. But when the rhythm of God becomes a rhythm of your life, your difference is generated from inside of you. Enoch had favor because he chose God and he understood where he wanted to be. He understood that in order to get there, he had to do it with God. When God gives you vision, he is trying to establish your life in a lifelong rhythm in your life, a rhythm that will deliver you from any life disaster that you are enduring. The technology of the kingdom allows you to live a two-dimensional life. You are here in your natural body, but you are also with God in the spirit. Enoch walked up to God and said, "Let's dance, God. Let's move in the spirit. Let me walk with you and let me live for you, God." We learned that dancing is a form of worship rather than an expression of art or entertainment. Using your body as a life sacrifice to express the word, faith, and spirit of God. Rhythm invites you to dance, so keep dancing with the Lord. I just love what Bishop is
Yeah.
just talking about with this "Let's Dance." Because with this title and how he used Enoch's story is just showing that you have to be confident in this walk. You have to be confident in this walk with God, and you
Mhm.
have to be transparent. You have to be real, and like how Enoch went up, "Let's dance, God." And that's just what God is looking for us to be
Yeah.
confident in our walk with Him, to be like, "God, let's dance. I'm ready. I'm ready to get in rhythm. I'm ready to stay in rhythm. I'm ready to be the representation of you here on earth." Right.
Mhm.
So I've enjoyed this sermon. I'm excited for next week. But everyone in the comments, I'm loving all the comments right now. Marlo,
Mhm.
I'm happy to hear that you and your husband were just having this conversation because it's
Yeah.
so true. I think sometimes we think like the little topics or little things that are actually big topics, or a great conversation to have, because
Mhm.
that's what it's about when we walk with Christ, having these conversations and communicating effectively, right?
Mhm. Absolutely.
So, as always, it is an honor coming up here and talking to you guys about this. But I want you guys, if you have not had the experience yet to actually sit down and meditate on this word or this series yet, I truly encourage you guys to please go back
Yeah.
and watch service. Go back to the beginning of the rhythm series.
Mhm.
Bishop, like he said, for 11 o'clock service yesterday, he talked about how he was meditating on his word since 4th of July. And,
Mhm.
it's just so timely how he's just ending this last quarter off with these sermons, these words where it's just
Yeah.
preparing us for a new dimension and a new season in our life. So I encourage you guys, if you have not been at this series, if you have not took the time to listen, I encourage you guys to please go back. Or if you know someone, you were just having a conversation, it may have been a friend that has said everything that Bishop said in the sermon, everything that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Invite them to watch. Tell them. Just send them. There's so many things on social media we can do with our phones now. You can send it to
Absolutely.
Messenger.
Mhm. Yep.
Do
Send the
that.
link.
Send them the link, because this is what God wants us to do. He wants us to get His word out and be that vessel, right? But as
Absolutely.
always, it is rebroadcasting tonight, right, Mai?
Tonight at 7 p.m.
Awesome.
We will rebroadcast. That's a tongue twister. Yesterday's message from our 11 o'clock service. So, like Kev said, definitely watch it, share it, watch it again, because it's so good. Bishop does a little Bishop shuffle too
Listen,
in the midst. So,
he has a Bishop Shuffle 2.0 now.
oh yeah, mhm.
Now that we're back in service, like, he has a Bishop Shuffle 2.0 where we're having.
Right.
What else is happening this week, Mai?
So also this week, on Tuesday, we have the Safe House Men's Ministry Real Men Talk, talking about real issues that men face in society and as a man of God. We're an Impact on Wednesday at 7 p.m. with Bishop and Pastor Nick having a great discussion. They've been talking about some doozies these last couple of weeks, so they're going to continue that on Wednesday. On Saturday, we have On Point Radio. Saturday evening at 6 p.m., we have Emerging Worship. And then a full day of worship on Sunday as we come together to celebrate Pastor Appreciation. Um,
Yes.
Just want to remind everyone that registration for a service is opened and it will close on Wednesday at 9 p.m. So don't wait till the last minute to register. But also, registration is open to anyone now, whether you are a member of Bethany or someone
Awesome.
who might just want to come and visit. Please do come and fellowship and worship with
Yeah.
us. So you can do all that by going to our website. Go to bethany.com. You'll see the button that says register for in-person service. And then, click that and you'll be good to go.
Awesome. So listen, we are, like we said, we are celebrating our pastors next month. We are celebrating the church next month. So let's do God's work and let's let people know that now we need you to register. We need you to come because you need to get this experience, this encounter experience in person. We're
Absolutely.
so excited about that.
Yeah, can't wait.
Cannot wait. But as always, it is a pleasure. It is an honor coming up here speaking with you guys. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and sharing. All those that are going to tune in later, we appreciate you guys. I can't talk tonight either. We love you guys. And it's always a great time coming up here and speaking with you guys. But we wish you guys a blessed rest of your week. We look forward to seeing you, hopefully in person on Sunday. Some of you guys, I didn't get to give Ty a big hug on Sunday, but Ty, I got you next Sunday. But yes, we can't wait to see you guys on Sunday. And have a blessed rest of your week, guys.
All right, we'll see ya. Bye.